Today's Macintosh shenanigans are brought to you by Squarespace, but more on that in a bit. Today, we're going to put the quick in Quicksilver. No, Sean, that's stupid. Today, we're taking this beautiful Power Macintosh Quicksilver from 2001, and we're going to install an absolutely ludicrous hand-built processor upgrade, taking this thing from a sensible 733 megahertz to a spindler-shattering dual 2 gigahertz G4. Plus, we'll install the brand new version of macOS Sorbet Leopard. It's kind of a return to form here on Action Retro, so stay tuned. And if you enjoy ramping up your electric bill with the beautiful detritus of a bygone era, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. I treat performance per watt like a score in golf around here, so it's definitely worth sticking around. In my humble opinion, turn of the millennium Apple Towers were some of the most beautifully designed computers ever put to market. Not only were they strikingly different from their boring, boxy PC counterparts, but they put the user first in ways that are just unheard of today. Although the aesthetics evolved over time, all of this era of Macintosh Tower shared the same fundamental design philosophy. Beautiful aesthetics, focus on the user, and attention to detail both on the inside and the outside. Ease of access to the internals through a tool-free drop-down side panel, and they even took the time to make this handle easy to use and comfortable. It's mind-blowing from today's point of view. 2000s Apple didn't just want you to love your computer when you first bought it, they wanted you to love it 3 years down the road when you wanted to upgrade the video card, or the memory, or the hard drive, or even the processor, which is on a daughter card. I mean, just think about it. A decade after this machine came out, Apple was making machines that you'd need 3 different screwdrivers just to get to the video card, like that goofy trash can Mac Pro. So this is my Quicksilver G4. It's the low end and early 733 megahertz version. Apple offered these in 2 revisions with actually up to a dual 1 gigahertz G4. This thing has the stock 60 gigabyte 7200 RPM hard drive, and the RAM was upgraded at some point from 128 megs to a nice 640. I bought this thing as non-working, and the seller said it wouldn't boot. But when I opened it up, again, very easy to do, I just found that the hard drive was actually disconnected. When I reconnected it, it booted right up into an install of macOS 10.4.11 Tiger. Now, we're not going to explore what's on this install because it's full of meticulously organized adult entertainment right on the desktop. So I'm going to burn this in acid, and then we'll install an SSD right off the bat. And we'll get that brand new version of macOS Sorbet Leopard on it, which, if you haven't seen that project, it's about the coolest project out there for PowerPC Macs. We'll also install a GeForce 7800 graphics card that we flashed to make it Mac compatible. If you haven't seen those shenanigans, I'll link to a video right here. It's currently in my other Power Mac G4 tower. And then we'll install a ludicrous amount of PowerPC processor in this thing. You know what isn't ludicrous? Using the sponsor of today's video, Squarespace. Create a fast, beautiful, and rich web experience for your business or brand using Squarespace's powerful all-in-one platform. It's really easy to get started. Like, say I wanted to build a website documenting this lovely Quicksilver before I invariably melt it with that dual 2 gigahertz processor upgrade. Not only could I build it in minutes with Squarespace, but it would be well-designed, responsive, and mobile-friendly. There's a ton of beautiful templates that I could choose to start from. And from there, it's simple to build a great-looking website that's also fast, responsive, and mobile-friendly. With Squarespace's extensive built-in toolset, I can also optimize for SEO, manage a mailing list, check my analytics, and much more, all geared towards managing my entire web presence. So check out squarespace.com/actionretro today for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use code ActionRetro to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Okay, so the first thing I want to do here before we install Sorbet Leopard is toss in a new SSD and then throw in 2 more sticks of PC133 512 meg memory to bring it up to the 1.5 gig maximum. Now for the hard drive, I want to go this time with one of these mSATA SSDs. I have a nice 120 gig Geno here that I've had very good luck with in Macs. And to use it, I'll use one of these IDE to mSATA adapters, which I use in pretty much all of my IDE laptops, with just this little adapter here to take it to a desktop size connector. Yeah, and just look at this lovely layout in here with your 4 open 64-bit PCI slots, your AGP graphics card, which has a stock GeForce 2 MX, with an ADC connector to power your monitor, although we're going to have to upgrade this. And yeah, here's our 4 RAM slots, and one of these is already a 512, 128. This is the 512. And this just takes 133 megahertz, PC 133, just like, say, the G4 Cube, which is where I scrounged these sticks from. And there we go, 1.5 gigs of RAM. And here is our hard drive. Don't actually know how this caddy is connected, although, oh, it's loose in there. All right. Oh, 1 screw. Perfect. And through the magic of double-sided tape, here is our mounted mSATA SSD. And just look at all this space in there for more hard drives. You can actually fit 2 more mounted hard drives. There's plates for them and everything right here in the bottom of the case. That's awesome. But yeah, let's button this thing back up and let's install Sorbet Leopard. And we're going to boot off of this little Firewire multi-boot SSD that I put together. It's just a 120 gigabyte SATA SSD inside this OWC Firewire enclosure, and I put a bunch of partitions on here with different boot systems and installers and stuff. So yeah, let's boot off of this thing. Okay, so we have camera pointed directly at the screen like a true professional, and it's loading up our boot partitions that are available on this Firewire SSD. Okay, that's actually less stuff than I thought I had on here, but it's fine. So we have a Leopard boot partition, some Mac OS 9 stuff, Leopard install, and then Linux. We're going to boot into Leopard and use that to partition our disk, and then I think I want to install Mac OS 9.2 first on a small partition, and then install Sorbet on a larger partition so we can have the best of both worlds on here. Okay, there we go. There's all my partitions. Some of these aren't bootable partitions, like I have the Sorbet image on this separate partition here, which we have to restore to a partition on the hard drive to actually install Sorbet Leopard. So yeah, we're good there. Let's go into Disk Utility and set up our drive. Oh, look at that. It does not see our hard drive. All right, well, surprise, surprise, neither of these want to work right. I kept getting all kinds of weird errors, so we're back to trying our old kind of standby, the regular SATA SSD on an adapter, so hopefully this works, and I'll just cut out all that other futzing. And if you've never heard of macOS Lives 922, it's a project just as awesome as Sorbet Leopard. It's kind of a finely tuned version of macOS 9, made to go on to just about any PowerPC G3 or G4 Mac, and yeah, be smooth and crash free. And jump cut. I have Sorbet Leopard installed, macOS 9 Lives installed, and everything appears to be working just fine. So let's swap out that video card, take some before benchmarks, and then upgrade this processor and see just how much of a difference it makes. So here's that original GeForce MX2 with 32 megs of RAM and a handy ADC port, which gives the monitor both power and video. So it's a shame we'll be losing that, but we're going to put a much, much better video card in its place. This is a PC version of the GeForce 7800 GS AGP graphics card with 256 megs of VRAM, and it's been flashed to work in a Mac with a Mac BIOS, and it's been slightly modified with some tape because, yeah, that whole powering a monitor thing doesn't exist on PC graphics cards, so you have to kind of finagle it a bit to work in a Mac. If you're interested in seeing exactly how this was done, check out this video here. We modified this to work in the mirror drive doors G4, and yeah, we're just borrowing it now for this Quicksilver. Okay, so I ran Geekbench benchmarks and I got a 418, but a number is boring. There's something much better that we should look at to get an idea about performance. So Macintosh Garden has now a much newer version of Minecraft available for PowerPC, version 1.8.9. We've always used version 1.2.5 for our tests, so let's see how well version 1.8.9 runs on 733 megahertz, and then we'll see how it compares to running Minecraft on dual 2 gigahertz G4s. Here we go. And I have not tried this yet, so we're going to discover together just how slow this is, probably, on 733 megahertz. Create new world. Silvery stuff. In creative. Alright, well, that took quite a while to generate the world. And, hey look, we're on the edge of an island. Actually kind of a best case scenario for our frame rate here. Oh, we're all alone on a tiny island. Wow, that's not the most exciting world I've ever seen. And it looks like we are getting a solid 3 to 5 frames per second. Alright, restarting in programming mode to apply the update. Excellent. Exactly the blue screen that we wanted to see. Alright, so let's pull the stock card out of here. And never actually done this before, but I think we just need to pop this fan off. Yep, and ooh, it's dusty in there. Wow, look at all that dust. Gross. All right, and then just 4 screws to glory here. We're free. So this card was built by Herd over on the 68K MLA forums. And what Herd does is take existing CPU cards, and he has this little purple adapter PCB here, which adapts the newer G4 to the older G4 socket. And yeah, it's amazing that he can get these dual 2 gigahertz G4s on this processor card, which probably was like a dual 800 or something, or sometimes he even uses old Sonic cards and stuff. But yeah, amazing bit of custom kit, and just one of the incredible things that the hobbyists in our community just do. Incredible. Now, since we are using this kind of interposer PCB here, these chips actually stand taller than the chips would on a normal card. So Herd also was nice enough to machine down a Quicksilver heatsink to accommodate the slightly taller chip without smushing them. And yeah, thank you so much, Herd, for your incredible work here. And now the most dangerous thing that somebody can do on YouTube, and that is apply thermal compound. So I fully expect your comments to say this is either too much, not enough, but certainly no one's going to say I did just right. All right, dual 2 gigahertz Quicksilver, first boot. Oh God, here we go. Please don't explode. Yes, it bonged. It's alive! Sorbet Leopard! All right, let's see those specs. Dual 2 gigahertz PowerPC G4. All right, let's do a quick benchmark. Holy crap, that's just a bit of a difference. Let's pull that up with the stock benchmark. Okay, so the stock 733 megahertz Quicksilver G4, 418. Dual 2 gigahertz, 1449. That's amazing. Oh, it's so good. Oh man, I love this. You know, I think I love this more than the upgraded MDD just because this is so much more of a jump for this machine. Let's check out some Minecraft. Alright, here we are back on our weird tiny little island. And wow, that's a world of difference. This is now, at least it seems to be, pretty buttery smooth. At least compared to what we had before. Which was like, what, 5 frames per second? Oh yeah, look at that. 22, 35, yeah. Oh my god, we hit 48 frames per second. Alright, let's start a new world here. And see if we can give the machine a little more of a hard time. We'll call it Quicker Silver, and we'll keep game mode at Survival. Alright, here we are in a much more taxing biome, and look, we've made a little pig friend. Ooh, and cows. Hello, cow. And it's silky smooth once again. Hello, little bunny. How are you? Some pigs. I can stand on a pig. Let me stand on you. Let me stand on you. Wow, look at this. This is perfectly playable. That's so amazing. Yeah, we're getting, wow, in the 50s for frames per second. Wow. Oh, it's so good. I can't believe how well this is running in survival with all these mobs all over the place. Well, I could honestly just sit here and play Minecraft because it is indistinguishable from a modern experience other than the draw distance being so short. But I bet we could even increase the draw distance a bit. Let's go normal and see what happens. Alright, definitely a noticeable decrease in frame rate. 16, 14, 20. But still, it's not unplayable. Definite lag. I think we can do like short. Yeah, let's do short. And this should hopefully be a totally reasonable experience. And it feels like it. Yeah, no lag with the blocks. Nice and fluid. Frame rate in the 20s to 30s. Totally reasonable. And amazing. Wow, what an incredible upgrade. I cannot believe the increase in performance over the stock Quicksilver 733. Actually, I can kind of believe it because it's a dual 2 gigahertz now. That's so freaking cool. And that now makes 3 Power Mac G4s that I have with massively modified processor cards from Hurd. I have the old 2 gigahertz G4 Cube upgraded from 450. I have the dual 2 gigahertz mirror drive doors, and now the dual 2 gigahertz Quicksilver. And I have to say, I really like this dual 2 gigahertz Quicksilver. I kind of like it more than the mirror drive doors, even though this is a more powerful computer with more modern stuff like PCIe and can take 2 gigs of faster RAM. But yeah, just the amount of power coming out of this older machine. And, you know, I'm really partial to the look of these Quicksilvers. And, oh, yeah, it also has a zip drive, so that's pretty cool. But this won't be the last you'll see of this dual 2 gigahertz Quicksilver. I have a lot of plans for it, including I want to ATX mod the power supply and use a modern power supply in here, and probably install some form of Linux. But if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more Macintosh shenanigans like this, please subscribe down below, and thank you very much for watching. And a special thanks to B. Perkins, Camilla Noceda, Chris Allegretta, Chris Briggs, Chris Calderon, Chris Nelson, Daniel Hubbard, Greg from Rutk Mods, John Malman, Nano, and Scott Thompson, who are my highest tiered patrons, and all of my Patreon supporters who help to make these videos possible.